Hey, welcome to Reviews on the Run. We have some of the biggest names in games. We've got Burnout, Virtua Fighter, Command & Conquer. We got your attention? Today on Reviews on the Run, Tommy and I are taking a look at Virtua Fighter 5, NBA Street Home Court, Burnout Dominator, and in Versus, it's Supreme Commander against Command & Conquer 3, Tiberium Wars. Some of the games we look at on Reviews on the Run are intended for a mature audience. Please pay attention to each game's ESRB rating. All right, let's get things started here with a look at Virtua Fighter 5 from Sega for the PlayStation 3. It is coming out for the Xbox 360. What did you think of Virtua Fighter 5, developed by the AM2 gang out there, but not with Yu Suzuki? This is the first one that Yu Suzuki's not a part of because he split up.
Right. I gotta tell you, I think it should be mentioned that this game is getting extremely high reviews.
I noticed that.
Online.
Yeah.
And I don't know what game they're playing. Are we playing the wrong version?
It's a robust game.
5,
there is
right?
a lot of content. You can customize your characters and you can unlock all kinds of stuff. There is a lot of gameplay in there. Well, just to buck the trend, and because we hate all of the online reviewers, we're gonna give this game a 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
No, I know what you're saying. The reviews.
The reviews.
Everybody's
very high.
effusive. Everybody thinks this is just a fantastic.
Are they effusive?
Effusive.
Very effusive.
Overly effusive, overly congratulatory, overly.
Very effusive. You know effusive, right? Effusive.
Yeah, effusive. Yeah. I played the game. I thought, it looks pretty good.
Did you really?
I thought it looked pretty good.
I thought the backgrounds were cool.
The backgrounds were okay.
Snowy mountains were cool.
I thought the characters looked a little mannequin-ish.
And glossy. They got like shellac.
Yeah, they got the plastic
coat
kind of thing going on.
The animation seemed a little stiff and slow to me too.
What's going on? It should have just looked so beautiful and flowing and perfect.
One of the things I do like though is that they do some great cloth movement stuff.
That monk guy, I forget what his name is unbelievable.
The cloth is really well done, I thought.
I love that.
But again, why isn't the rest of it? Why aren't the facial expressions as they grimace in pain? None of it's there. This is a PlayStation 3. This is supposed to be next gen. This is not next gen. I mean, the graphics, the backgrounds are beautiful.
Yeah, it's the best looking Virtua Fighter game, but when you think back to how great Virtua Fighters have looked in your memory, they all looked great. So this doesn't really look any better than what you remember Virtua Fighter to look like. Remember the first time Virtua Fighter hit the Dreamcast? How impressive that thing looked?
First 3D fighting game.
Yeah, well, on the Saturn it was on the Saturn, even back on the Genesis, but on the Dreamcast it really felt like with VF3 that they really had jumped to the next level. But this doesn't feel like it's really pushing any boundaries whatsoever.
No.
The fighting still feels exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
There's no real kind of extra kind of levels or details going on in the environment.
Like Dead or Alive 4.
In all honesty, Dead or Alive 4 didn't really feel like it was pushing any boundaries either, but I did like the fact that you could, be on one level and kick and punch your way down to another level and continue fighting. I always liked that, and I thought that the visuals in Dead or Alive 4 were comparable to what we're seeing here in Virtua Fighter 5.
Exactly. And wait, hold on. You want to talk about Dead or Alive 4?
Yeah.
They had online
I know
play,
they did. They had a pretty robust online play. And this doesn't, and there is no damn excuse for that.
There's no online play at all. This is a next generation
2007
fighting game. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I know.
You should be ashamed.
It's a solid game, but it could have been so much more. And this is one of the landmark series out there in all the video games, and I just feels sort of half-assed to me.
Yeah, well, it just doesn't take you into next generation. You just can't upgrade the backgrounds and make the characters a little better and basically have the same exact engine, same exact gameplay.
What are you going to give Virtua Fighter 5?
I'm giving it a 7.
I'm giving it a 6.5.
On the positive side, the backgrounds are gorgeous. Lots of things to unlock and customize your characters with. And for all you Virtua Fighter freaks out there, if you loved the series before, it's more of the same in terms of gameplay.
On the negative side, it's more of the same in terms of gameplay. There's no online play, which is ridiculous. Some of the animations of the characters feel very dated and stiff. And overall, even though there are some things in this game that we really like, it doesn't feel like we're really jumping into the next generation at all. All right, let's see here. We got traffic that you can blow apart. We got buildings that come crashing down. We have all kinds of environmental traps. We have machine guns on the sides of cars, rockets, mines that you can lay. So what we must be talking about here is Full Auto, right? Well, it's Full Auto 2 Battle Lines on the PSP from Deep Fried Entertainment, the first game from these guys. And I gotta say, I really like this game on the PSP. It's a good handheld game. It's mindless. You don't feel like any kind of brainiac when you're playing this game because you're really just blowing away everything you can see on screen. There's all kinds of different kind of circuit modes. You've also got an arena mode, which is very much like Twisted Metal. The game reminds me of Twisted Metal. It reminds me of Twisted Metal, but with more racing. And you get that cool unwreck feature, which just pulls back time, and you can go to before you were all smashed up, which is always fun. Full Auto 2 Battle Lines on the PSP, it's solid. 7.5 out of 10. All right, stick around. We have another sequel after the break. It's NBA Street Home Court from Electronic Arts. Don't go away. Buried Treasure is brought to you by Rogers Video. The experience starts here. Hey, I wanted to draw your attention to something. Before Sega releases all kinds of Sonic games on the Virtual Console for the Wii, you may want to check out Sonic Gems Collection for the GameCube, which is also playable on your Wii. Now, it doesn't have the classic Genesis games on this collection, but it does have Sonic CD, which was part of the Sega CD add-on that you would have to buy for your Genesis. It was the best Sega CD game that came out, and the Sonic CD gameplay is actually really good. It still stands up, looks sweet, great music. Sonic R, terrible, terrible game for the Sega Saturn. It's almost as bad as Sonic the Hedgehog for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, if you know what I'm talking about. Now, there's 6 other Sonic Game Gear games on here. None of them kind of like hold up in the looks department, but the gameplay is still pretty solid. Make sure you check this out for the GameCube, because you could probably get this disc with 9 games on it for the price of 1 Virtual Console game on your Wii. It's Sonic Gems Collection. So if you ever talked to anybody that's ever skeptical about even sports games being artistic, all you got to do is show them NBA Street Home Court from EA Sports. This game is unbelievable. I think this is the, could be the slickest title that EA Sports Big has ever put out, man.
Oh, absolutely, hands down.
Fantastic game.
I mean, remember when NBA Jam first hit the scene in the arcades?
Yeah.
It was like a big deal.
Totally.
This is what this game is doing for the genre now.
Yeah, it's revolutionizing. It's definitely bringing this into the next generation.
Absolutely.
You know what it's all about, though? It's
the motion capture.
Animations.
Animations
out of
and
control.
motion capture.
Yeah.
But it's all about the jams, and you do the most amazing slam dunks you've ever...
Double dunks.
Triple dunks. They have triple dog dare dunks.
I know. When you go into the Game Breaker mode, you can actually dunk 3 times and get the 3 points.
Completely unrealistic. Everybody is like they're in Crackdown or something, because they jump up really high.
They're superheroes. Yeah. I love it. You know what I really dug about this game, though, is that they kind of had a Spike Lee in the neighborhood kind of vibe to the artistic kind of flavor and style to it. It's like it's old movies from the 70s or something like that.
That was the one problem I had with the game.
I liked it though, man.
It's like it had like a sepia tone to the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's like
it was shot on old movie cameras or something like that.
Yeah, but the entire game.
I thought it was cool. I love the music too. It had like Jackson 5s in there.
But what about the trash talking?
Excellent.
That was unbelievable. Yeah,
great really acting by the different voice actors that played all the different roles.
Get up, D.
Now, you do have a pretty thin selection of gameplay modes, and that's one of the probably only complaints about it. The challenge mode, which I dug, I thought that was pretty cool, is that you can play all these different teams that are made up. Sometimes they're with real NBA players, sometimes they're street players, sometimes they're just manufactured. There's actually WNBA players in the game too, which is great. And they each have their own...
we all know them.
Well, they each have their own specific requirements. Sometimes you have to win by 21, sometimes it's just jumpers, sometimes it's all dunks, sometimes you've got to, take off all the kind of the game breaker moves and stuff like that. And, you're basically just beating the different teams that you come across to have access to the player pool so you can bring them onto your team. You're constantly changing your players as you progress through the challenge mode.
You even have this freaky mode where you can combine players.
Oh,
and like
create a player?
Create a player mode.
Very weird. That is very freaky. Very bizarre, because you actually take 2-player faces, and then with the sliders you can move things around, and then you get sort of this hodgepodge, and yeah, you can create some very odd-looking characters for sure. this lifts your spirits, man. It's a great game. You just want a little more of it. Definitely, if you've ever been a fan of NBA Jam or the Street Series, you gotta pick this up.
Yep.
I'm giving NBA Street Home Court 9 out of 10.
8.5 for me.
On the positive side, the animations are just out of this world cool. You gotta check them out. Although it's freaky, the creative player is pretty robust. Would've liked some more modes, but the challenge mode is actually really fun. And as good as the graphics are, the audio, including the music, sound effects, and trash talking, is some of the best we've ever heard in any sports game.
On the negative side, there's not a lot of variety in the different game modes. And although the sepia tone is kind of cool, I just wish there was an option to maybe turn it on or off or only have it in special situations.
Hey, stick around. It's another big game after the break. We're looking at Burnout Dominator. Don't go away.